Welcome, friends. Today we're doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 26th of March 2023. Yikes. Well, March has flown by. This time next week it will be April, and we will be 3 months into the 4th month of the year. Oh, how? It's going too quick, or it feels like it's going too quick, I should say. But anyway, on to the perfumes. This week I wore some much lighter stuff. There's still some darker stuff in there, including today. But I am beginning to open up. It's beginning to feel distinctly more like spring than winter. The clocks went forward last night, so that was good. Well, was it good? I woke up today feeling very tired, so it was unusual. You don't usually wake up feeling tired, do you? You go to sleep feeling tired. But anyway, we will start, as usual, at the beginning. And on Monday I wore L'Ombre dans l'eau by Diptyque. I have not worn this in a very long time. I don't know if I wore it at all last year, but the year before that I wore a shit ton of it. You know? This is 100ml EDT. I think the EDT suits this fragrance more than the EDP would. I think it would get a little bit thick, a little bit rich. And it's meant to be like, well, L'Ombre dans l'eau means shadow on the water. So this is meant to have like a watery aspect to it. I don't think an EDP would convey that quite as well as you would like it to. Rose, cassis, or cassis leaf. It's bitter. There's a little bit of sweetness to it, but it's more like a bitter fruit kind of thing. Blackcurrant leaf, blackcurrant, cassis. Not sure what the difference between cassis and blackcurrant leaf is. They're very similar, aren't they? Beautiful though, absolutely beautiful. If you're feeling a little sour, if you want something fresh, watery, a little bit rosy. It's like the only sweetness from the fragrance comes from the rose, I think. I don't get anything else from it. It is quite bitter. So just know that, but it's very nice. I really like it. It's very Diptyque as well, you know. It's very Diptyque. Anyway, on Tuesday I had guests, and those were Jura Rose and his partner, Lee. So I decided to wear this Enchanted Forest. This is the first time I have worn this from this bottle, and it is amazing. I absolutely love it. This is this blackcurrant or blackberry? I would have to check. This is also a kind of dark, it's blackcurrant. It's like a dark, rich, fruity kind of thing. It's got a lot more sweetness and a little bit of booziness than L'Ombre dans l'eau, but it does have like a similar kind of thread running through it, you know. It's green, It's foresty. It's got a bit of wood in it. Not very much though. It's fresh, but still quite rich at the same time. It's extremely pleasant. I really love this stuff. You can see my ring light in the bottle. Absolutely beautiful. You can expect to see more of this as spring comes along, and in autumn as well. I'm not sure about winter, maybe. It gives this kind of dark forest vibe. Some green as well as purple in there. Beautiful. On Wednesday, I went for something completely different. I took my guests to some holy sites on Wednesday, and thus I decided to wear Loves by Filippo Sorcinelli, and it was Jura Rose who put me onto this fragrance actually. So that was good. A nice little callback there that we can all enjoy. This is an ambery incense. It's probably the best incense perfume I've smelled. I can't think of one that I prefer, certainly. Can't think of one that I prefer. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Very resinous, balsamic, incensey, dry. It's got a lot of different things going on all at the same time. It's very complex. A little bit peppery, elemy, which I'm a big fan of at the minute. I have to stop myself from buying all the elemy fragrances. I wouldn't mind getting some elemy resin actually, just to complement my knowledge of the material. It's absolutely beautiful. This lasts all day. It's absolutely nuclear. I love this stuff. Came out in 2014, and I'm surprised it took us this long to find it, but there we are, you know. I got the sample set of this line. Well, I got 6, and this one was the one that stood out. There are a couple of others that are quite nice, but this one by far for me. Very beautiful, complete, and well behaved as well for such a potent and evocative fragrance. You can wear this and it not be too outrageous, you know. On Thursday, I did something very unusual. I was extremely lazy, and I decided not to decant this and simply put it on as a splash. And this is Herrera Femen. This is the Puig version. I don't know that it is a vintage, but it is an older bottle. I know that. Excuse me. It is released in 1991. It's got this. I was quite surprised it was released in 1991 actually, because it's got this kind of like, you can't call back to something that was like gonna come. It foreshadowed fragrances from 5-6 years later. It was very fresh and clean, and it was very Italian fougere type of thing, Mediterranean sort of fougere. It's got a lot of similarities to Dolce & Gabbana's Pour Homme for me, with lemon, lavender, rosemary, tobacco, sandalwood. Very similar to all those fragrances. Very similar notes in both of those fragrances, I should say. Excuse me. It's very nice, but I will be decanting it into a spray next time because I use more of this than I would like to have, really. That's the problem with Splash. You go through it rather quickly if you're not careful. But I literally did just splash this on, like splashed it onto my chest and rubbed it in. Dear me. That was not best practice, put it like that. But I enjoyed this greatly. I think this is possibly only the second time I've worn this. So you can expect to see it again though, because this is absolutely lovely. It's a bit denser than Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, but the likeness is most certainly there. I don't know what. Actually, I do. What am I saying? I do know what the modern version's like, and it's still quite good. Or it was a couple of years ago. If it's still made by Puig, then you're probably in luck. See if you can dig yourself out a bottle for a cheap alternative to Dolce & Gabbana's Pour Homme. Anyway, on Friday I decided to wear something very different. And this is ZA. ZA. If you've ever seen Lex Alice's review of this. ZA. Released in 1989. This is Oak Moss. It's a very green fragrance. It's not a smoky oak moss, but it is an oak moss fragrance. Very green at the top. There's lavender, rosemary again, pine, carnation, juniper, leather. I don't get much leather from it though. What the overriding smell of this for me is oak moss. Hugely so. Very green though, like all the green aspects of oak moss. All the green aspects of spring. You know, you could probably wear this in the autumn as well. I'm not sure about the summer. It might become a little bit cloying. But this is becoming very hard to find, and it's at very high prices now. It was reformulated and repackaged. I would go for this bottle if you possibly can. This is also a splash, but very sensibly, if I do say so myself, I decanted it. It's one of my favourite green scents. I've got a few bottles of this, and it's like not the type of fragrance I'm gonna like be selling. Sold off quite a few bottles of perfume, but not this one. Never this one. I absolutely love this. It's fantastic, and you can expect to see this again. Here is its little atomizer. Oh, ever so slightly metallic. I think Oak Moss can have this slightly metallic vibe, like not like Platinum Egoist, not like Sauvage, not like other metallic smelling fragrances. That one is it's got this kind of, I don't know. You know how plants take up metals from the earth, you know, and like humans contain like certain metals in them as well, like iron and that. Like it's got a very natural metallic vibe to it. It's not like a foundation, you know, a foundation. Anyway, yesterday I wore Eau Sauvage Parfum 2017. Love it. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I think I prefer this one to the vintage, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I think the reason for that is the Elemi resin. Like I say, at the minute I am a huge Elemi fan. And I am resisting the urge to go out there and buy any perfume with Elemi in. This has bergamot, Haitian vetiver, and Elemi are the notes apparently. Don't think that's all that's going on. In fact, I'm almost certain that that's not all that's going on. But, because I get some lavender from in this as well, you know. It's very, very regal. It's very dandy. It's very grown-up smelling, you know. Absolutely beautiful. It just smells well put together, well made. One of Demaché's highlights as Dior perfumer for me. He was always good at flankers, you know. He was always better at flankers than he was at making his own creations. And so it proved out with this. So you can expect to see this again very soon, I would have thought. I think I've worn that the most so far this year. Anyhow, last but not least, I am still not sure whether I think I should be wearing this in spring and summer. But as we go on, I will refine my choice. I think this could probably be worn in any season except the summer, if I'm being honest. And this is Davidoff by Davidoff. This was released in 1984 and it is very complex. I get a smoky leather, oak moss, carnation thing going on, which is very classic, but at the top you get this kind of like citrus lime thing. In fact, I think there is lime in it, and that could be why it's the colour it is, you know. And Davidoff uses the note of lime quite a lot. They released Good Life. Excuse me. They released Good Life in the 90s, and that had a huge lime note in it, like a creamy lime. And this has got lime in it too. I love the note of lime, which is quite strange because I hate the note of lemon, which I also think's in here, but it's very toned down. It's very well behaved. This has got a smoky, spicy carnation note. I need to stop putting that to my nose because it's going up my nose. The thingy's a little bit wet. Anyway, this is an old bottle. I bought these from Anouge. I've got a few of them. The fragrance is in perfect condition as per. Apparently it has castoreum in it. That doesn't surprise. It's got quite a deep, rich base. This is very good for early spring, I feel. It's got similarities to Smalto Pour Homme. But Smalto Pour Homme's a bit darker at the top, and it's got a lavender in it that sort of smooths it out. This is a lot more sort of grainy. This has got like a spicy kind of roughness to it, you know, like an edge. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. I think this is, I've smelled it quite a few times, but I haven't worn it yet. I think this is either the first, maybe the second time I've worn this fragrance, but it shall not be the last. This is my little 50ml bottle. I've got some others, which I am very much looking forward to wearing. And you shall see it again in the rotation. And that is it, my friends. This video has ran longer than I thought it was going to. How did that happen? I just sort of come on camera and start talking. But yes, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed this week's rotation. And I hope to see you all on the next one. Goodbye.